Good morning, everyone, from a beautiful day at the seaside in my hometown. As you can see, it's a wonderful day in a very peaceful environment. I've been going through past the articles I wrote, and one I found it really nice to share again and to attach a video that I haven't done at the time. It is about when I lived in Edinburgh, in Scotland, and at the time I left the first flat where I lived because the poor conditions, ended up in a second flat with the landlord living in the house that apparently had some weird secrets, so that led me to literally run away. Ended up staying in Kirkcaldy with a friend. So the time was stressful and beautiful because the town I was staying temporarily was beautiful and magical at the same time. And there was a time where my thoughts and reflections about life and the past life was quite strong. I started this journey into past lives after reading a book, a beautiful book that inspired many other people, called Many Lives, Many Masters of by Brian Weiss, a doctor that after trying to help a patient using hypnosis, turns out that this patient was able to reconnect to her past lives, and eventually channeling entity that the doctor called masters from the other side. That book really made me curious, planted the seed, and something that then eventually, once I arrived in London from New Zealand, that's where I read the book, I done myself a session, like hypnotic session that they call past life regression. And well, who does past life regressions claim that if you go under hypnosis and you are able to recollect past lives? And I was really curious, and I give it a try. All started with a connection I had with a girl, because I remember, as I said in previous videos, when I searched for a guy, for someone to do this past life regression, I came across this guy that in the psychic world in London and the UK, apparently it's very famous, or at least it seems like. It's called Ayula. And so I contacted him, and he told me to go in New Malden. New Malden, as people that live in London knows, it's the Korean town. So already the fact that this session would be held in New Malden, especially after so many years where I had this thing going on with this Korean girl, was already a sign that something was leading me to the right direction. And the day I arrived to meet Ayula, there was a fog. The first time, and never seen it again in 11 years. A very thick fog that was enveloping all the town as a something like a sign that was something, something was happening. And when I done the past life regression, something did actually happen, because I started to have those images into my head, where there was when I was inside the building that I knew to be in the medieval times, and I was eaten with a belt, a woman lying on the ground in the fetus position to protect herself from me hitting her. And I knew was this Korean girl. And the next image, there was a woman dancing in the meadows, like, and next to her I could see the image of the Korean girl, that she's used to be a ballerina and has a dance studio now. So that's was telling me that there was something coming from long time ago, and that connected me with this girl. Apart there was memories all out of blue, like with no apparent reason. Obviously there was a reason, about me and my father, and I had no thoughts about until the moment. There was probably months, if not years, that I didn't think about him. So it just popped in my head. So that felt really interesting. Again, like I said many times, I don't know if I was hypnotized. I didn't feel it, but definitively interesting things came inside my head. So before that, I think after that, because first I met Ayula, and then I went to see a woman in Milton Keynes called Pauline. I heard about this woman from my current girlfriend years ago, talking with her friend. They were talking about this Pauline, and curious, I asked what it was about, and turns out that my girlfriend went to see this Pauline, this woman, out of curiosity, and she told her that she would quit her job and getting a certain amount of money, something that at the time she never thought she would, but turns out that months later that did actually happen. She had to quit, and the money for her resignations was exactly the money that the Pauline claimed she would get. So I went there, and many interesting things happened afterwards, things that she predicts. But before we started the session, she told me that I had I think it's 65 or 66 past lives, 34, 66 I think. It was 34 as a man and 32 as a woman. First, the previous one, before this, I was Russian, and before that I was Mongolian, and I think there was a third one, but I can't remember now. But she couldn't recollect all the authors. So I won't deny it. I mean, yes. I mean, everything is possible. I mean, how existence is just a mystery, and the fact that we exist already prove that we can. Everything is possible. So, past life, reincarnation, you call it. Everything is possible. I we've been programmed to see things in a certain way, like now looking at this beauty, but it's just at the end of the day it's just a program, a program where I do know that this is in nature, and for most of us we enjoy those landscapes, but it's just a program. So what we are, it's a mystery. Like my body is not my body, and what I call me is not me, and it's just like a mystery. And so everything is possible, obviously, as it's possible that there are aliens that in reality we call it aliens, but are just other beings like us. So everything is possible, and the only obviously for me, someone that might show up now and then disappear and fly away, there wouldn't be any surprising. Still, the biggest question is why all of this? I mean, why we are here and we are programmed to do all of this? Yeah, it's beautiful, right? But why? What's the point? We don't know. But all the story is not about that. It's all about a time where I was in Scotland, and I was stuck in my friend's house in Kirkcaldy while trying to find another flat. And then at the end I found there was another shithole, and with a very shit landlord. I mean, I would say the Scotland experience was amazing, meaningful, life-changing, but flat-wise, Edinburgh is a very fucked up city, much worse than London, and the landlord in Scotland are try to exploit as much as they can from the tenants. Not different than in London, but for personal experience, much worse. But the Edinburgh experience in general was just amazing. I love the city, I love the landscape, and again, apart the flat issues, everything else have been a wonderful journey. That 2 years in Edinburgh, but that period it was quite stressful because, well, first I was, I just ran away from a flat where the landlord was probably a drug addict. And at the time I was applying for the so-called EU settlement scheme. Again, all of this is a scam. They shouldn't even exist. Something like applying for visas to live in a fucking land that it's the land of everyone. So borders and visas and passport is a scam, is a fucking scam, and we need to wake up about this because this is all a scam. But I'm stuck in this scam, and I needed to have a fucking passport, and I needed to apply for the fucking EU settlement scheme. That it was a pain in the ass because a good guy in a coffee shop I worked in London, before leaving, did not pay me like 6 months taxes at the time, and when I applied, it didn't show up on the records, and to apply I had to stay 5 years consecutively in UK and not leaving UK for more than 6 months. And because I didn't have the tax recorder, they could not prove that I actually were there for 6 months, so I could not apply. So I had to provide all my bank statement, and there wasn't enough. And finally, the employer actually did transfer money under the name of the company, so I could prove that, and that's what got things going on, and allowed me to get my permanent EU settlement scheme, or whatever you want to call it. So it was stressful because all I wanted was to focus to my spirituality, to my inner self, and all I had was just annoying earthly issues that I had to dealing with, that I didn't want. But again, probably that was part of my want, growing spiritually, and that was maybe or probably the exam that I was going through, so that I could learn to dealing with the earthly issues that are irrelevant to me, but that is obviously, if you are able to dealing without break or disrupt your inner peace, then you manage to grow within, and to be able to don't let external circumstances that are irrelevant to disrupt and ruin your inner peace. Because as a more and more, and like as the time passed by, more and more I started, like something I already knew, but that was always hard to manage to do, is that I can't fight. There is nothing to fight, not physically but mentally, because the external doesn't exist. You can't find with something that doesn't exist, that is an illusion. So you can only go within to probably change the external, like in this beautiful movie scene in The Matrix, when Neo is going to see the fortune teller, and before getting to meet her, there is a little kid, a little monk kid, playing bending a spoon, and Neo takes the spoon, and before trying to bend it, the little monk kid tells him, don't try to bend the spoon, it's impossible. Instead, try to understand that there is no spoon. So the meaning was that don't try to fight the external, don't try to change the external. So in this case, don't try to bend the spoon, because it doesn't exist. Our external reality, that we call reality, is probably just an illusion. Well, probably for me it is an illusion. So try to change the illusion, trying to change the external. It's impossible. You can't change the illusion from the outside, because it's all inside. So as you change inside, as I witnessed myself many times, even if often I forget, as I go within, it change within, it change outside. I go in peace, it becomes peace. I go in fear, it becomes fear. So try to remember that you can't bend the illusion because it's not real. You need to go within. And as in the movie, once Neo goes within, so he bends within, the spoon starts to bend. And with this, I leave you for a bit because I will be back with a second video. I'm gonna go and enjoying this illusion I've been programmed to enjoy. Oh, I forgot. Peace and love.